And it's that the Toronto Raptors and Masai Ujiri, who has been the general manager, team president, head of basketball ops since 2014, officially parted ways. And the funny thing about his run with the Raptors is it's been absolutely irrelevant out of Toronto for the past 5 or 6 years since they did the unthinkable, which is really the move that made his career. It made him to be this basketball savant, this person who takes risks and he gets all the reward from it. He does a lot of good scouting and prospecting as well. He's good at other things as well, but it all boiled down to the 2018 summer when the Raptors took a swing and they traded off homegrown star DeMar DeRozan in favor of bringing in Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. Kawhi was on a 1-year deal. He notably did not want to be anywhere but L.A., tried to force his way to the Clippers or Lakers, instead ended up in a Raptors uniform, and the rest is history. The Raptors make that run. Kawhi has the shot from the corner in the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Sixers, rattles around and goes in. That was against the Jimmy Butler Sixers. That's how long ago that was.
Sure was.
The Jimmy Butler Sixers alongside Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. He makes that jumper. The Raptors obviously go on to make it to the NBA Finals. They beat the Warriors in 6. Many thanks to similarly what happened in this past NBA Finals, an Achilles tear, but not Tyrese Halliburton, Kevin Durant. So much of what the NBA is right now was shaped by that offseason, by that move that Masai Ujiri made for the Raptors, and literally his whole entire tenure, the 12 to 13-year tenure of running the Raptors. It all goes back to 2019. If you're watching us on YouTube at ESPN West Palm, you can see the championship parade from that season. Nick Nurse. We got a Nick Nurse appearance right there. And you know what was funny about that is that was his first year. The other move that Masai Ujiri made that kind of rolled some eyebrows in 2018, he fired Dwayne Casey after Casey had the Raptors as a 1 seed. After Casey, I think they were like a 59-win team. Casey won Coach of the Year. And that was the year the Raptors went up 2-0 against the Cavs. And then for the third straight year, LeBron said, I don't think so.
What is Nick Nurse still with Philly? Is that where he's at right now? Or is he somewhere else?
Nick Nurse, yeah. No. Yes, he's with Philly. Yes. He's back with Philly. Nick Nurse has bounced around a couple times since then.
Mm-hmm.
But Nick Nurse, yeah, that we just saw sights of him. We see Danny Green on this championship parade, Jeremy Lin. Like that 2019 Raptors team makes everything Masai Ujiri did over the past 12 years feel right. But the question is, with a team like the Raptors and other teams that had these flash-in-the-pan championships, how much leeway, how much goodwill, and honestly, how much of a legacy-defining moment is it for a person or a team to win a championship, specifically thinking about these teams that do it once, they go all in, and it works out? And then things like what happened to the Raptors happen following right after that season. Kawhi leaves the Toronto Raptors. They make the playoffs only 2 times out of the next 6 seasons, and they also only had 2 winning seasons since that championship parade. Marc Gasol on that Raptors team as well. I almost forgot about big Marc Gasol.
Forgot about Jeremy Lin, too.
Jeremy Lin, the NBA champion Jeremy Lin. It's funny how much can change. And don't forget this, too. The Raptors were the start of this new trend we have in the NBA right now, the 2019 Raptors, of unique champions year over year over year. It started with the Raptors, and then we had the Lakers, and then you have the Bucks, you have the Warriors, and then, of course, the past few years, Celtics, Nuggets, and now the Thunder. 7 straight unique champions in the NBA. And what seems like is happening, or what seems like happened to the Raptors in 2019 is happening to the Bucks right now. But the question is, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Many people consider Masai Ujiri's run with the Raptors extremely successful. He's thought to be now the number 1 GM candidate in the league, and his former team, the Denver Nuggets, actually have an opening. So I'm curious if this parting of ways, literally hours after Masai Ujiri drafts, makes a couple of selections in the draft for the Raptors, he's now a free agent. And I'm curious if that opening, because remember the Nuggets fired their coach and GM right before the playoffs, if that's why this lined up like that. I'm actually incredulous over that, but that's not what I want to talk about just yet. I'm curious more so specifically right now, how much does the one championship earn you? Because it feels good to go into every season as a fan knowing your team has a chance. It feels good to root for and experience long playoff runs, even if sometimes they don't end with a title. But I do know that there's no feeling like being able to pop champagne bottles and storm the streets and do what the Florida Panthers fans were able to do this past year. Do what the Milwaukee Bucks fans were able to do in 2021 and celebrate your team actually accomplishing the ultimate goal. But it does feel like for the Bucks and what we've seen for the Raptors over the past 5 or 6 years, that championship came at the expense of their future, and I wonder just how long until they're crying and whining and complaining for another one.
Yeah, because there's fans out there that it's ring culture, right? LeBron was complaining about ring culture a couple of weeks ago about how it's defining legacies where it's a team sport, yet individuals are held accountable for not winning the ultimate team prize each and every year. But, yeah, fans out there that are thinking, I would do anything for a championship, where some people would tell you, give me next 50 years, won't even matter in the grand scheme of things in this team's league. In the NFL, won't make the playoffs. In the NBA, maybe we're in the play-in 1 or 2 times, doesn't matter. But if you get a championship and that's the price to pay, I'll take that. Or I think a less popular answer, which might be actually closer to the truth, is it's pretty damn good to know you have a chance every year.
Yes.
To go into playoff action on the court, on the field, in the baseball field.
And I wonder how much it varies from sport to sport. Because I do believe in the NFL, one title, the staying power of that one championship, it doesn't feel as worthwhile if the next year, like let's say, for instance, I'm trying to think of a very specific scenario in which you win a championship, but the very near future does not feel so bright. Like, you know, you're going to suffer through the next few seasons. You don't know where your next stroke of luck is going to come at the quarterback position. Maybe your coach retires off. Like, think about, and again, it's hard because I can't say the Patriots, they won so many.
Was the Broncos after Peyton retired?
After Peyton Manning retired, the Denver Broncos fans definitely experienced a bit of a drought. I mean, we're talking Paxton
Or at least
Lynch.
like immediately afterwards, like they didn't have a plan. There wasn't a plan in place. You had a Hall of Fame quarterback who just brought you to a Super Bowl and then retired, which of course you're happy for it. You do whatever he wants, but once that quarterback retires, it's kind of a now what situation, even if he wasn't at his best.
And how great did that feel as a Broncos fan to be able to celebrate that? Obviously, 2015, you're never going to forget, right? Von Miller and the strip sack, and you think about Cam Newton not falling on the fumble, and you think about having one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time ride off into the sunset by leading your team to a championship. But since then, you're right. They've been grasping for straws in Denver when it comes to the Broncos, whereas there's been other teams that have been knocking on the door every single year. Think about like your Buffalo Bills. Like, it looks like an extremely fun time to be cheering on Josh Allen and the Bills, who are there every year. They never have gotten it done. Haven't even gotten to the Super Bowl in this rendition. But at the very least, like, you expect to be there every year. You're along for the journey every year. The Broncos, when's the last time they've expected to make a championship run?
Well, you know what? I had a feeling that Broncos were a good example of this, and I was absolutely right. The Broncos have not won a playoff game since winning the Super Bowl.
Yes.
That was their last playoff win, and last year was their first playoff berth since winning the Super Bowl.
Well, look at the division they're in. And even the Broncos today, who have Sean Payton, who have a quarterback in Bo Nix, who they have to feel good about, you still are looking up at what seems like to be the AFC East of Brady's era, where it's like, okay, well, when are we ever going to be able to get past them in our own division? In spite of what else is going on in the AFC, you got to get through that guy first, and that's not going to be an easy task.